All right, so first of all, if you would stand on this side, so now that you understand, right, the balance, the swing path, right, we're starting to talk about the club face control. Now with club face control, like I said, there's pros that have more of the impact bag, like I said, like we saw with DJ, where they're trying to freeze it, right, and that's giving them the control of direction, right. I tend to kind of lean toward that myself because just scientifically that makes sense to me, thinking that okay, well, if I keep trying to freeze this thing straight, even if I'm not doing a perfect job of it, the miss has to be a better miss than if I have a rolling club face, right?
Okay.
Now some players have a weaker grip, have more supination, and they can't get it around in time, and or as I learned it a lot, like Colin Morikawa, that guy tries to twist the hell out of it, but he's got it so weak in his hand. Even when he does that, the most he can get out of it is straight or a slight fade. So some of these guys, they'll position it in a way where they can supinate to the max and they still can't go left, right?
Gotcha.
And then they always aim for their fade. Then there's players like I was just telling you about, Nick Faldo and Tom Watson, that the old style players, they'd sit there and they'd try and hit a draw, straight, fade. Draw, straight, fade. So you go to the range and say, okay, I'm gonna, do all this the same, line up somewhere, and then when I look up, I'm just gonna work on either what I do is you can either keep the same grip as usual and try to supinate more or less and have a sense of how much you're supinating, or what you can do is you can supinate the same amount, but like we were just talking about, like Tiger did and Jack Nicklaus, what they would do is, let's say, let me move this out of the way, what Jack would do is he would say, okay, he'd say, I want to fade it, right? So he'd aim where he wants his ball to start. If you're hitting a fade, you're going to want to start your ball where? To the left, right? And then he'd point the face where he wanted the ball to end, right? And then he would think about swinging along his feet as usual, and then see the path and face numbers, and then what's going on there? The path is left and the face is open, right? Now the path is left because where I was aiming,
Yeah.
in relationship to the target line. And then conversely, if I want to hit a draw, I could set up, right, with the face slightly shut, and then do what? Still swing the same, if you will, keep the same path along my toes the same, but now that with the face closed, it's going to start where I aimed and curve where? More to the left. You see what I'm saying? Now the point of this is you need to start trying some of these shots probably to get a better sense of the club face, because when we came in today, your path is way better, your balance is way better, even though it was even better on the pressure plate, the balance was even better, but your face was either way open or way closed, and you're trying to figure that out, right?
Okay.
What I used to do a lot myself, which I'll share, is I do a lot of this when I'm golfing, and I still do this, but I like to see where I'm going to put the face. So I get set up, I do my swing path, my balance, and then I like to freeze it here. If you come around where I look where I froze it, look at the face position there. That's where I like to freeze it. And I'm looking at the bottom edge, and I'm trying to get that bottom edge to be flat. Right? You with me? And so I'll usually rehearse that. I'll go like this a bunch, and like I usually don't do the full finish because I'm really concerned mainly
Getting
right
In
there.
the face.
That's all that matters.
Because
Right?
then if you're like, oh, well, my face is actually going that way, then the ball would go that way.
Yep.
So I need to be like more like right
Totally.
there.
Now, one more thing I can't help but show you because I have it over here on my table is I have the Golf My Way book with Jack Nicklaus, who's one of the greatest players ever, right? And in here, look, what he did is exactly what I was telling you. He would aim, look, to the left of the target, 15 feet, right? And then he planned to fade it. So he'd have the face a little open at his setup, right? If he faded it perfect, he's all over it. If he by accident fades it, he's still only 15 feet away. If he hits it straight by accident, he's still only 15 feet away. I wonder why I won so many times. You see what he's doing?
Yeah.
He's hedging his bets. He was playing the curve or straight, figuring
What's the difference between a fade and a slice?
about, well, it's the severity of the curve.
Okay. I've always kind of wondered
Yeah,
that. You know,
yeah,
some
yeah.
people say,
Good
oh,
question.
There's a draw, there's a fade, there's a slice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, so that's important for us to
and
talk
then I
about.
always get confused because my close buddy that I play
Right.
with is left-handed, so his are all opposite.
Totally. So check this out. I just made this this thing. I'll send this to you. This
I think
tells
we
you.
did do something on paper.
I drew you this before, right?
Yeah.
I had this guy make this, and I'm gonna print. I already printed it and ordered it for Canvas, but it covers everything on that, and it shows you fade versus slice is just more severe. So a fade would be a smaller version of the
Okay.
slice, and a draw is a little bit left, where a hook is more.
Okay.
Let's say a fade would be, I'd call it 10 yards, where a slice would be 20 yards.
Yeah, that makes
kind of
sense.
thing.
Yeah, where like the ball had some major spin on it.
Right.
You could actually just see
Yeah,
it going
yeah.
that way.
Right.
A fade would almost be like it just kind of went straight and then it
Right.
kind of started to dip over.
Totally. Now you get it. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, the point of this all is you have to kind of go and play with, because like Sam Snead, he played a pull, right? Jack Nicklaus plays a fade, right? I like to try to play it straight a lot of times. Tiger played it any way he needed to. I mean,
that's
that guy
so
was
good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, most people at first it's good to just stick with like it said. Oh wait, like it says in here, the tour average numbers for path are 2 to 5 degrees to the right, and the face is 1 to 2.5 degrees to the left. So that means that's a slight little. It's called a slight push draw, which is this. This is the push draw that most people are trying to play.
Okay.
It's like how the
Why you-
the
like why you
bowlers,
have
yeah,
this-
the sticks, right?
Okay.
It's like how the bowlers do this, right? But based on what I wanted to share all that about the club face, but based on what is happening to you, I would suggest let's do a few right now at the end here, where we try to do my little rehearsal thing, where you practice freezing it flat, doing the path, doing the balance, and freezing it flat, and then trying to do that to the ball, and then let's see if the face numbers are better with that.